BoneYard. Enter at your own risk.
Decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Man, happy Sunday. Oh wait, it's not Sunday. Yeah,
Tuesday.
Say what?
Tuesday.
Yeah, it's Tuesday, and we're on here on a night that we're not ordinarily on because this is definitely some breaking news type stuff going on. Having said that, you know what? Let's do what we do, man. And first of all, thank y'all for joining us here at the Big BoneYard. You got myself, you got Big Bone 1%er, your hostess with the mostest, and add to the flavor of the episode and the show and stuff like that, we got A-Bait Tate. What's up, man? Yeah, so anyway, and the folks is all here. Hey, Cigar Box Skinny. What's up, Skinny? We see Skinny and doggone Aztec. I talked to you earlier today, Aztec, man. It's good to see you. Doggone Bolo, Miami. Mwah, mwah. See Miami out there. What's up, baby?
Kissing ass.
Yeah, no, you gotta do it. You know, but I tell you what we're gonna do is definitely as we say every single show, we want to point out that whilst we love our respective organization, I love my organization, Tate loves his organization, but the serious of it is that we are speaking for ourselves only. We do not, our opinions do not reflect the opinions, the attitudes, or the positions of our respective organizations in any fashion whatsoever. We are speaking for ourselves and ourselves only. So make no confusion about that. So that there's what we refer to as a disclaimer. This is about us and what we think and what we got to say about our thing. Yeah. But in the meantime, man, how you been, man? It's been a little minute. You know, you've been running around motorcycles, pounding ground and stuff.
Moving, and not just on the bike.
Like the Jeffersons? Like the Jeffersons, yeah, moving.
Well, yeah, moving on up, way the hell up. I'm in the Panhandle now. So
yeah, see, some people aren't old enough to know about the Jeffersons, but you know,
hey,
or the Panhandle.
I finally got a piece of the pie.
Right on.
But no, no longer in Central Florida, up in the Panhandle.
Right on.
Yeah, listen.
Almost Alabama, less L.A.
Oh yeah,
Los Angeles.
Lower Alabama, baby.
Lower Alabama.
I joke with everybody up here that they might want to make sure their old lady ain't their cousin. But no, I can't complain. Best move I ever made in my life.
Now, but is your old lady your cousin?
No.
Are you saying that is not like second cousin, you know, like really first cousin twice removed because somebody got divorced and like that?
Not that I know of.
All right. Allegedly. Okay.
You might want to call your mom.
Right on. I hear you, man. But yeah, man. But shit, I tell you what, I've been dodging rain. Like I swear, every time I jump on the bike, it seems like it's Florida. But I get on the all day, beautiful, perfect, no problem whatsoever. I get on the bike, guaranteed. It's like a rain dance, man. I'm guaranteed to catch a monsoon for the 5 minutes that I decide to get on the bike, and then it's Florida, so it does that. Like, oh, just when you think it's going to be beautiful and you're going to dry off, it'll dry off just for a second and then start raining again. Then once you get back home or where you're going, it's back to being beautiful again.
Oh yeah.
That's Florida's. It's God's little trickle on Florida bikers, man.
It ain't been that bad up here, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think I've been sprinkled on once, but no downpours, and thank God, because we're going into hurricane season. Hi,
Yeah.
Miami.
Yep. And hey, Biker News Canada, what's up, Canada? Right on. Okay. So I tell you, man, it's been a lot, even though, it's been a lot of stuff going on. And I'll tell you, a certain thing came up about actually on July the 1st. And I know we had talked about it 100 times. You're like, oh, well, run with that info. So let me tell y'all what we're talking about when we're talking about breaking news. And we're going to get into it. If y'all read the description of the show, you probably might be a little bit ahead of me already. But so on July the 1st, I got what I thought was anonymous, but it turns out I got a text message on my phone, and I had to verify who it was from. But it turns out it was specifically from Black Sabbath Olympic City. I didn't even know where the hell Olympic City was. But the only reason I'm mentioning that is because they sent me information that they wanted me to share with the rest of the planet. And they sent this on July the 1st, and I didn't. And quite honestly, I wasn't going to, because I'm like, I'm going to stay in my lane. That's not my business. It's, that's those folks will work it out. That was sort of my attitude about it, even though that's what they wanted me to put this information out. So let me see. In fact, I might be able to, let me see if I can share this thing.
Well, I mean, that's part of our life too. Normally you work everything, you sort shit out in-house.
Yeah. And, and I know that because, I'm the chairman of the COC and the regional for INCOM. I wear a few different hats, and I work with a lot of different motorcycle clubs throughout the country. And so it stands to reason, plus with the show, it stands to reason that somebody might kind of reach out and want to address something so that they can, I don't know, either get ahead of something or share their point of view about something. But let me see if I can pull this guy up for us here. But basically, I'm just going to share with you what they sent if I can. Let's see. This is the first text I got. If y'all can see that. So if you can't see it, let's see. I don't know if you got it. Okay. Anyway, so what this is saying. So this was the first text. You can see the phone number right there. But as of July 1st, 2024, effective immediately, John E. Bunch II, which is, first of all, in really poor protocol. You're not supposed to use somebody's government name if they're a part of your MC, or even if they're departing your MC, you use their road name. That's just MC culture, MC 101 type shit. It's considered very disrespectful. So when people do that, they're either they don't know, which you'd assume that they would if they're sending this sort of a message. Either they don't know or they're purposely being disrespectful. You're supposed to use the person's road name. But anyway, so John E. Bunch II, aka Black Dragon, is no longer a member of Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club. He is out bad after being found unanimously guilty by a committee of his peers. The committee findings are available to any and all BSMC members in good standing. But for some reason, they elected to send this to me as well. And a number of other folks got the same thing that they wanted people to share. And from there, it went on to providing some documents or a document that explained why that was. And after reading these documents, it left a lot to be desired. I mean, it seemed to me like a lot of it didn't make any damn sense, to be quite honest with you. There was just a lot of stuff that didn't make any damn sense. In fact, if you guys want, you can. It says 4 pages, but they only sent 3, so that's page 1 of 4. You can freeze that, blow it up, like stop the video so you can read this stuff over if you want. That's page 1, and that's page 2, and then you go over here to page 3. That's page 3. A lot of this information was redacted, and a lot of it, like I said, a lot of this stuff just didn't make any sense, which is why I didn't jump on the bandwagon or any of that kind of stuff, because it led a lot to be desired.
And I think it's important that we put out there that the stuff that's redacted, Bone didn't redact and I didn't redact. This is how it was received. So
right.
This stuff was redacted. We don't even know what the hell it says.
Right.
So we're not keeping anything from the people. It's the individual that sent this is who's keeping it.
Right. And I know I think the president of the chapter there is a guy named Offset. So I don't know whether he sent it or he had one of his people sent it, but that's where it came from. It came from those guys. But anyway, some of the stuff that they were saying was that Black Dragon was not an actual member of and I don't want to delve all into this stuff, but he wasn't an actual member of the club, and he had been out for a long time. Just stuff that didn't make any sense. If he's not a member of the club, how is he the national president?
Here's a few other things that didn't make sense. Number one, and if anybody wants to go through it, can go through it, and the charges are in there. How do you bring somebody up on charges that's not a fucking member of your club? A.
Right.
B. How can you kick somebody out of a nation if they're not a member? And then, right. Just like you said, and BD has said this millions of times, and I can remember when he was the national. How the fuck do you become a national president of a club you do not belong to?
Yeah. And then there was this thing about he didn't. They went in this whole long thing about he didn't prospect properly, or he didn't prospect the right way, or something like this. But as far as I know, with pretty much any motorcycle club, the prospect don't have shit to do with them voting him in or not. Either, because a prospect typically is not in the room when the vote's taking place or anything else. I mean, that's pretty much any motorcycle club. So how could he vote himself in if he was a prospect in the first place? And like, how did he get a full set of patches at some point, damn near 30 years ago or whatever it was, and become the national president if you're never, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even want to delve all into that, but this is kind of this is what started the ball rolling, right? All of this weird shit, this came in. And like I said, they wanted me to address this, so I'm addressing it. And this shit just didn't fly with me. That's why I didn't run with any of this stuff. However, where's that button there? However, just recently I was notified and was sent some other documents. So apparently, a former, at this point, now a former sergeant at arms from a certain chapter of this club reached out with what you can only call a freaking bombshell. And basically, the snapshot version is that, which we've been able to confirm a good bit of this information, is that the reason that this guy, they went after this sergeant at arms and Black Dragon apparently at the same time, because they identified that a certain member of this organization, who was a chapter president, was a child molester. And when the first fellow went to call him out about it, initially he was told basically to shut the fuck up, stay in your lane, don't worry about it, none of your business. And I'm paraphrasing a lot of this. I had a long conversation with this fella a couple of times, but in particular today, we talked for a long time. And documentation beats conversation, and damn did he provide documentation, which I'm going to share with everybody here in just a little bit. Tate and I have been going back and forth over this thinking, wow, freaking wow. And this original paperwork that I received on July the 1st is redacted up one side and down the other, and didn't pass the smell test. This other guy's information is from the government, and it's easily verifiable. And we did verify it all over the place, and damn wow. So the deal is this, and this is the snapshot short version. We're going to read this letter to you. If I can find it. Well, here, I'll just pull it up. I thought I had it printed out somewhere, but here, let me just share this with you.
I can pull it up.
Yeah. But I had it. I'm going to get this so we can. So long story short, I'm giving you guys the doggone the abridged version, but okay, here we go. Okay, so this is the letter from this guy. Let me see. Is this the right letter?
Yes. No.
No, that's not the right letter. All right, let me get the correct letter. Let me try that again. That's one of the many letters that came through. Let's see here. So the letter that we want is the one that says, oh, that's the one. So this is a letter from Big Cookie. Big Cookie, and y'all got to follow me on this one. Big Cookie states, Master Masons, this is the way he headed his letter. Master Masons take over Black Sabbath to hide a pedophile. He wrote this on July 8th. It's a little bit ago. So it seems that whistleblowers are coming forward to speak out against Black Sabbath MC and some of the underhanded tactics they have allegedly been involved with since they have gone public with their attempted ruthless beheading of former national president Black Dragon. They have framed him to hide a pedophile. Again, I stress this is this gentleman's words and opinions. And anyway, let me just continue. A suspended member of the club who was punished with an 18-month suspension and fined thousands of dollars without a trial for trying to fix the Maryland chapter's myriad of problems, said, "It doesn't surprise me that they are trying to damage Black Dragon's reputation. He tried to go against these so-called Master Masons who have taken over our club, and they got rid of him just like they got rid of me." This started when a Master Mason, Dave Devil Durman, patched over his Masonic Riding Club into Black Sabbath and launched the Maryland chapter a few years ago. He represented that his reason for crossing over was that his Black brother, Paul Lestat McFadden, had been unfairly treated by his fellow white brother Masons simply because he was Black. He was denied a promotion that would have made him one of the most senior Black Masons in the mostly white organization. Because of this racial prejudice, Dave Devil Durman wanted to leave that order and take his chapter with him. He contacted legendary Black Sabbath East Coast Regional President, Black Dragon, and approached him with the idea of patching his riding club over. Black Dragon accepted them based on the lie that he was told and introduced them to the nation, where they eventually patched over and became the Frederick, Maryland chapter. Dave Devil Durman became the president, and Paul Lestat McFadden became the VP. What was not discovered until later was the true nature of why they left their former Masonic RC. After Lestat, who had transitioned to president, started abusing a Frederick chapter prospect and threatened to kick him out, the prospect decided to do an in-depth background check on him. That background check revealed that the Maryland chapter president of the Black Sabbath MC, Paul Lestat McFadden, had pled guilty to sexual misconduct with two 15-year-old minors who had been his students at his high school. It turns out that Lestat had taken two female students to his brother's house and asked the one 15-year-old to place his penis in her mouth. She began, but then stopped. He asked the second 15-year-old to put a condom on him, but her attempt failed. He took the girls back to school. This was the true reason he was denied his promotion within the Masonic order and thrown out for lying on his application. He was blackballed, which is the worst thing for a Mason, and not what Devil had represented to Black Dragon when he first contacted him to patch the RC over. as Sergeant at Arms, I tried to eliminate this scourge from our nation following the bylaws, and was immediately rebuffed and threatened by President Lestat. Other Master Mason members, like the National Secretary, Derek Hardcore Belcher, and Dave Devil Derman, immediately circled the wagons, and soon I found myself ridden up with dozens of charges, including a charge for actually attempting to charge the pedophile, which was my right to do as the Sergeant at Arms. At one point, I challenged National Secretary to a fight, which is allowed in our bylaws. I was written up and charged with insubordination for that as well. Ultimately, I was given a $3,200 fine and suspended for 15 months without trial. I have included the charging documents in an attachment. I requested my trial and have been waiting over 8 months now to get it. But before that happened, I went to Black Dragon, who had come out of retirement at the request of the East Coast chapters to solve many issues. Furious when Black Dragon attempted to right the ship and restore order by bringing proceedings to remove this pedophile, other Masons in leadership positions moved against him, along with the national president, Ride or Die Hill, to oust him as regional president. They removed him from office without a trial and suspended him for 6 months. They removed him from all club communication boards and refused to allow him to wear his colors. They put out a message to the club that he was too dangerous to be on the boards or to get a trial. He attended the 2023 Proc convention wearing a Black Sabbath shirt, but no cut, and spoke before thousands of people as a featured guest. No one knew the terrible truth as to why he was without his colors. The national president even went further to silence all opposition. He removed all Black Sabbath regional presidents in the nation without a trial. The national sergeant at arms left the Black Sabbath, and the national president wouldn't allow a vote to go forward to replace him. When the Frederick chapter tried to free itself from being under the pedophile and elect a new president, Red Bull, the national gathered his master masons into a committee to remove Red Bull from office without a trial and punished him by not allowing him to run for any office for 18 months. This kind of punishment isn't anywhere in Black Sabbath bylaws. They suspended the chapter's executive board and placed the chapter under the rule of the Atlanta chapter hundreds of miles away. This caused most of the Frederick chapters to step away and lay their colors down. All of this to keep them under the rule of a pedophile president who didn't even have a motorcycle because his motorcycle had been repossessed and he still does not own one currently. Why? Because he votes with the national president and helps him maintain control. For this reason, the national president has joined forces with this group of secretive master masons to exert power over the BSMC and protect this pedophile, establishing a brotherhood within a brotherhood. They have hamstrung the Maryland chapter and threatened to throw anyone out of the club without a trial who disagrees with them, like they have done the brother Black Dragon. While national president Ride or Die breaks all MC protocol to publicly call Black Dragon a liar, releases fake documents saying that he was never in the club, and announces some sham 10-year investigation into his background to destroy his reputation, his business, and his credibility. Why don't they do the simple investigation with real paperwork against a pedophile they are protecting who backs their political agenda against the democratic will of the chapter? This investigation wouldn't take 10 years. It would probably only take about 10 minutes. Though I hate what I've done in exposing internal club business to the outside world, I will not stand by while they destroy the reputation of a good man who built the mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation with his blood, sweat, and tears. He gave us all a home, and most people who joined came because of his work on social media. Plus, right is right, and I won't be a part of an organization that harbors child molesters. I suggest that until Black Sabbath MC expels the pedophile Paul Lestat McFadden from our ranks, the devil Dave Derman, who bought him, as well as the national president Curtis Ride or Die Hill, who protects them all, that all MCs treat my club with the same disdain child molesters are treated with in prison. So who really is a liar? John Black Dragon Bunch II or National President Curtis Ride or Die Hill? I will answer any questions. The paperwork included I will answer any questions. The paperwork included does not. These are receipts, not that garbage they posted about Black Dragon. Paperwork included in attachment. Big Cookie, SAA on suspension, Frederick, Maryland chapter. And yes, sir, he most definitely did provide some freaking receipts. A lot of them. So that was a long letter. But it actually addressed it made a lot of sense to me, because I was like, what in the hell? Like, because the letter didn't make no damn sense. I'll just be honest with you. It made no fucking sense. I'm like,
they talked in circles.
Yeah, it's like all of the stuff in the original letter that they wanted me to, and see, journalistic integrity plus, being a biker and a diamond. I'm like, I can't run with that bullshit. Like, if I get it, they wanted me to put it out. So fellas, you wanted me to put it out. I put it out. Now I put it out, but maybe not like the way you wanted, but I put it out per your request. But here's the deal though. What this dude is saying is it hit home. But let me share, because when this cat said he got receipts, Speaking of, let's see. Let's go to about there was a response to him, but let's see here. I think this is the letter that he received. So this is what was sent to him November of 23. It's from the office of the chapter president, Lestat Frederick chapter, to Big Cookie and CC to all national, regional, and Frederick chapter officers of Black Sabbath MC. Reference findings of formal complaint and allegations of insubordination, misconduct, unbecoming, and slandering of local chapter officers and other members of the Black Sabbath MC Frederick chapter. Honor and respect Big Cookie. By order of the president, through unanimous vote of the members of the BSMC Frederick chapter, you are hereby ordered to. I'll share this with you. Big Cookie said emphatically that he never had a hearing, never had a conversation, never had a nothing. He was told in this letter that it was a unanimous decision by the membership. But as he spoke to different members, he said more than half the chapter did not know that there was any such a vote. They didn't know that he was being suspended or anything else. They never heard of any of this stuff until he told them. And as you read through the chapters and so forth, he has $3,200 in fine and suspended for a total of 15 months. You can see that there. You see the cursor going back and forth. It just goes into greater detail, telling him he has to surrender his patches and so on and so forth. But let's go to the counts. So the count is, so his counts are, let's see, not to complete a task. What was this? So $150 fine for when confronted by the VP. He was insubordinate by not telling a prospect to do something. Then there was another count during a call with the national secretary after a prospect posted on inflammatory video in Columbia, Maryland. He was told to take care of it. I guess he subsequently escalated the discussion by issuing a verbal threat to a national secretary. That's when I guess he said that he wanted to fight the national secretary, which according to them, they're allowed to do, but they gave him a charge for it. Then there was a charge 3, which was let's see, he was instructed to return property to BSMC Nation. They're saying that he didn't do it within 24 hours, so they gave him a charge for that. Then there's another count for. Anyway, so there's a whole bunch of charges. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But the biggest thing about these charges was where he was charged for charging the pedophile for lying on his application to become a member. And because he did that, they feel like you weren't supposed to charge a chapter president for being a pedophile, even though you're the sergeant at arms and that's the sergeant at arms job. And a bunch of other real silly shit. But I mean, it just goes on and on and on and on. And like he said, this Big Cookie, he said he'll make this stuff available to whomever wants it. And so yeah,
Well, here's the funny thing. One of those charges says that he obtained a court transcript of a case from 1999 that was ultimately dismissed. What I found,
yeah, it wasn't dismissed. I saw that. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You don't get charged and plead to something and it just get dismissed. If you plead, you're taking that charge.
Yeah.
So, and so you charge your essay on some bullshit because it wasn't dismissed. I mean, anybody can look this shit up. It's public record.
Well, and you're right. And so what we found out is the reason that this guy Lestat left the Masonic Club was not because of racism. And I hate when people scream, racism, and that's when people really are playing the race card. But he said he told Black Sabbath that they went after him because he was black, and they said they dug up a robbery that he had years ago, and they used that against him. Come to find out, nobody knows anything about a robbery at all, but what they do know about, and what these guys kicked him out for, was the fact that he was a pedophile. And it went into great detail in the court documents, which I'm going to put up in just a moment. It went into great detail in the court documents as to what it was that he did. And he didn't deny it. In fact, his lawyer didn't even deny it. But the thing is like this. So this whole conversation tonight, I want to be real clear about a couple of things. One, this is not about Masons at all. I've spoke to several Masons that are high-ranking Masons, AB being one of them, and he said emphatically they will bounce him out on his ass. If you're a Mason and you get caught doing that shit, you're out. You're done. So Masons don't stand for that shit, and clearly the club that he was with didn't stand for that shit, and they bounced him out because of it, according to the folks that we spoke to, and according to the documents that we looked at. So this is the bottom line is, but let's go back to what's going on here. So the guy's a pedophile, and like, you don't even have to say allegedly because it's proven in court. He's convicted of it. So he's a pedophile. Someone calls him out on that, and then they go after him. But it looks like all of this stuff about Black Dragon, you can splice it and dice it however you want. And I know there's the one guy on TikTok or something that was saying all of this stuff. He's been hating Black Dragon forever anyway. So that's not like no big surprise. But the truth is the truth is the truth. And it, shame on you, whoever you are that is protecting a child molester, and you're going to basically eat your own. You know what I mean? You don't have to. And, the way I look at anything related to the club, you got to love your club more than you hate some certain member in it. You know what I mean? Like trumped up charges and that kind of stuff behind a pedophile. I'm just like, and I'll bet you anything, most of the people in that club, and I've met several over the years, and they're good, solid folks. And I don't feel like if they knew that there was a freaking ChoMo in their ranks, they wouldn't be happy about it. So these guys, they can do what they want, they can say what they want, but at the end of the day, nobody's stupid, and everybody can read. Speaking of reading, let me go over to Biker News says, but it all started in a chapter before it went national. Try to fix the shit in the house was the ChoMo, or was the I think he's talking about the ChoMo. You might not like where it goes if it goes national. Yeah, and it sounds like that's basically what happened. This guy, Big Cookie, tried to work it out within his chapter. He told me that he went to Lestat, that's the child molester. He went to Lestat, who was his chapter president, tried to speak to him about it, and he was told to mind his business, stay in his, basically threatened, shut the fuck up and stay in your lane, da-da-da-da-da. He went to his VP. His VP basically echoed the same exact thing. So at this point, he reached out to his regional president, who was actually Black Dragon. He was the East Coast regional president. And that's how Black Dragon got dragged into this without knowing the shitstorm that was going to come at him for doing his job. Deuce said, just came in, missing the context and the backstory. Hollywood didn't post whatever he originally intended to today. He will rewatch it and start later. Sounds like some shitbag needs to go. Yeah, sounds like it. But yeah, let's take a look at this other document and see what's going on with that, because like we say in the Marine Corps, you know, documentation beats conversation every time. So documentation. Let's take a look at what the state of Maryland has to say about this. Where is it? Oh, here we are. It's case number CT980905X, if anybody wants to look that up, but you don't have to because we got it right here. Let's just show you. This is one of the court documents in the Circuit Court for Prince George's County, Maryland, State of Maryland versus Paul Edward McFadden, which he's known in the club world as Lestat, president of the chapter. So the judge, Honorable Sheila Tillerson Adams, associate judge. Darlene Salted, so that's the state attorney, and for the defendant, his lawyer was John T. Henderson. But anyway, so the case number, if anybody wants to look at it, it's Criminal Trials 98-0905X. 05X. So if you want to freeze that and take a look, see, all of this stuff is available. You can find most of this stuff online nowadays. So again, there's the case number, and so this is one of the transcripts. I'll go like that so you guys can take a look at it. So this is the conversation between the judge, the state attorney, and Lestat's attorney. This goes on for a while, but again, the high school that he was a teacher at was Eleanor Roosevelt High School, where he arranged for two of his students to meet him outside of the school. He took them over to his apartment. At his apartment, it is alleged that he asked one of the girls to perform fellatio on him. That means she started for a moment and then stopped. He asked the other girl to place a condom on his penis. She attempted but was unable. He then took the two girls back to school and swears nothing happened. No one reported it. It was not known to the authorities for almost a year. So, the fact that nobody knew for a year don't mean it didn't happen. But apparently it did happen because he was convicted of it. So I guess the girl's mother found out or something like that. Anyway, but so here I'm gonna just scroll through. So at your leisure, you can kind of stop and read this stuff at your. Yeah, it's a lot of pages. But the point is, though, going back to so in the motorcycle world, we don't do ChoMos, short eyes. We got all kinds of names for them, and it's like if you get locked up, you're in prison. I'm telling you, there's a certain way that those folks are dealt with. In the MC world, I know that's another thing. That's not something that don't fly. So, I mean, I don't know what the motivation is to protect the guy. Now, according to Big Cookie, the former sergeant at arms, he's saying that the reason that they're protecting him is because he votes like they want him to vote, and he helps National do this, that, and the other thing, which I have no friggin' clue what that could possibly be. That's so good to protect a child molester, but it must be something fucking great. What do you think, man? Am I crazy or what?
I mean, that's one vote. You're gonna throw the integrity of your club away over one fucking vote? I mean,
well, I know the way I understand is that the chapter there, they know about this and they want out from under the guy. They tried to do they used their bylaws and said, hey, we're going to do a special election, and they were told, if you try a special election or anything else to get up from under this guy, we'll shut the whole damn chapter down. I'm like, ooh, that's they love this guy.
That's kind of fucked up. I mean, we have bylaws for a reason.
Yeah.
Just like we have a constitution. We have a constitution for a reason. And when people are going against the bylaws, it's like, well, what the fuck's the point? I mean, we're not kids anymore. It's not like, your dad comes in, whoops your ass, and you're grounded for 2 weeks. I mean, You're dealing with grown people's lives. And a lot of the shit we do in the community we're in, such as toy drives around Christmas and shit like that. There's kids at these events.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you bringing a pedophile around kids? I mean, you don't take a recovering alcoholic to a bar.
Right. So, yeah. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand someone wanting to maintain the integrity of their club. But I don't know. That's just not the way to do it. I mean, is there, out of y'all watching, is there anybody who thinks it's a good idea to have a child molester in your motorcycle club? Anybody? Show of hands.
I mean, there may be. Have them go get their own club started. We'll call them ChoMos on twos.
Yeah.
They can have their own club. They can't participate in any events on the set. Just go hang out in your clubhouse and y'all can fuck each other.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, I just. But anyway, so like I said, this was a this thing tonight was not our normal night that we planned on doing a show or anything like that. But this was important enough. And like I said, I wasn't interested and wasn't going to touch it at all. These folks wanted me to, so be careful what you ask for because you got it. But I don't know. It's troubling. This is very troubling on a lot of different levels, man. Because I just know where I am, that's not some shit that would fly.
No.
And
our whole state that would fly.
There. Yeah. I mean, I find it super hard. But again, that's up that way. And I know that one of the things that Big Cookie said is that one of their biggest concerns was they wanted to keep this information away from the dominant that's in that area. And
because the dominant would put their foot in their ass.
Yeah. And so it's an issue. It's an issue, but the thing is,
Canada, sons of pedophiles.
I don't think they're gonna do anything about it. I think that they've done what they did. It seems to me like what they're doing is they're cleaning house. Anybody who oppose the pedophile, they're coming after, and it doesn't matter whether you're a regional, which they did away with all the regionals, I understand, because they didn't want to have this issue again, so they did away with all the regionals. Anybody who opposes this guy in this position. So let me do my crystal ball thing. I'll tell you what I think they're going to do. What I think they're going to do is when the rest of the world finds out about this, what they're going to do is they're going to say, oh no, well, he's not a member. He's never been a member, kind of like they did with Black Dragon. He's never been a member. He wasn't a member for a long time ago. He's a member today, but come tomorrow, they're going to, oh no, he's not a member no more. And what they're going to tell him is, don't worry, we got you. We're going to ask you to, lay low for about 6 months or something, 3 months, whatever. We're going to slip you back in the back door. Everything will all be good at that point. And I think that's probably what they're going to do. But I don't think they're actually going to fix it.
But I think what's going to happen is the dominant's going to find out. And the dominant's going to tell them, look, you get rid of the motherfucker or we're shutting you down.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't they just lie? I mean, they've already said that they're going to they threatened to shut down that chapter anyway if that chapter doesn't fall in line behind the pedophile. So that chapter is in a bad spot because the people in that chapter don't want to be under this pedophile. And they've got all kinds of problems with them, or so they say, according to the folks that I spoke with. They don't want to be associated with that, but they're being forced. They're forced to either that or put down their rags, which a bunch of them did. There's a bunch of these guys that actually laid their rags down behind this subject. So the question now is, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? But
I mean, we can't control another club, but what we can do is support people in our community and other people that do what we do with the podcast and everything. And what I got to say is, and I don't try to put other people's podcasts out there because we work hard on what we do. But I will say anybody that wants to know the truth about Dragon would be go listen to his older podcasts.
Yeah. Hey, Iron Horse says, "Fuck no, no MC will have that shit." There's more to the story. Black Sabbath would never allow that. And you know what? That was exactly my knee-jerk reaction. I thought, like, when I got this first text that seemed absolutely freaking crazy to me, I was like, hey, that doesn't make sense. There's got to be a mistake. Because, you know, the first thing they were talking about Black Dragon, all that. I'm like, that shit don't make no sense. And I said the same thing. It's got to be wrong. Maybe somebody's disgruntled or something and sent this craziness, or, you know. So I literally ignored the shit out of it. And then this other thing come up. And this dude, who I'm telling you, he sounds he's not a dumbass. The guy communicates real well. And the problem is that he came with receipts, and the receipts are like, I'm like, hey, I got this. Let me take a look. So I did. I took a look separately. We launched our own investigation, and it didn't take no 10 years. That's another thing. So if they've been investigating Black Dragon for 10 years, how that doesn't make it. I have never heard of a 10-year investigation by any MC about anything ever. And they literally said in the documentation that they sent me is that they've had an exhaustive 10-year investigation. I promise you, most of the guys in the club hadn't been there, wasn't there 10 years ago, including the guy that said he was doing this investigation. I found out that guy's been in the club for 12 years, which means that, so as a rookie with 2 years in, you stopped your MC career 2 years in and launched an investigation on Black Dragon that you've been doing for the past 10 years. That, you know, and I'm just saying, man, I would love to believe what you're saying is true, Iron Horse. I swear to you, because those guys, a lot of Black Sabbath are solid as all get out. But you know, everybody knows they got their own shit going on in their own house. And this is one of those things that should have never sent this to me. They should have never sent this information to all these different people, because now everybody's talking. And when you send this stuff and tell people, hey, talk about it.
Especially with people like us that have a platform, and we have people that are going to listen and then look into it. I mean, like I said, I hate to put other podcasts out there, but Black Dragon has done a damn good job. And I've been following him for over 6 years. And in that time, he's been a national president. This document that they sent states that he was never even a member. How the fuck do you become a national president of a club you were never a member of?
Yeah.
Not only that, he's had founders of this club on his podcast with him, people he learned from.
I spoke to one of their most senior members, and he told me, well, not to my face. I've spoken to him before, and he told me where I was speaking to him about this, and he made it very clear. He says this is a hatchet job by folks that have their own agenda, and that Black Dragon, unfortunately, was not a part of that agenda, and he was in the way, in particular with this most recent stuff. So, again, you know, I've been privy to more information than I ever wanted. Because I mean, life is too short, you know, and you know, I wanted to talk about some motorcycle related stuff, and y'all know we don't do shows on Tuesdays, but
No.
but yeah, man, it sucks. I hate this for the MC community, and I think what's important though is that somebody has to address this, because we already have enough stuff going on, you know. We get painted with a bad brush all the time anyway. In the COC, we spend a lot of time repairing the damage of our reputation, and we work so hard to change the narrative of who we are. So when stuff like this happens, we gotta clean up our own messes. So the set has to do what the set does, and I've got faith that Black Sabbath will get this right. You know, I think the correct people need to know about it, and the folks that maybe for whatever reason co-sign the activities of this child molester, you know, maybe somebody sold them a bill of goods. Who knows? But it's got to be addressed, because look, this is in the black and white. Any 12-year-old with a laptop could confirm all of this stuff in 5 minutes. You know. And like I said, these guys, Black Sabbath, solid, just so many of them, just super solid guys, you know. So I hope that they can address this and not get a black eye, metaphorically speaking, not get a black eye behind this stuff, you know. But but yeah, that's kind of where I am with it. Does anybody, and look, and by the way, if y'all got any questions or comments, don't be shy. Y'all can call in and you know, say your 2 cents worth while we're still on the air here for a little bit. But yeah, um, it hurts my feelings that this is going on, man. You know, I take no so to be clear, I take no pleasure in sharing this, even though, like I said, uh, they asked me to do it, and I just think that they probably might not be in love with the result. But you know, you ask for
And
it, you
we'll cover any story you give us. We ain't saying we're gonna cover it the way you want us to cover it.
yeah. 'Cause we have a problem with telling the truth. You know, it's funny that way. All that truth telling and stuff that gets in the way sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, but it's what it is. But anyway, I'll tell you what. Let's take a quick little break here, right quick. Hold on one second.
To pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.
Okay. So one thing that we wanted to, so again, so we're clear. So Tate and myself, we represent two respective organizations. We want to make sure everybody understands we're speaking for ourselves, not our organizations, because you know this is nothing personal or nothing like that. But on a personal tip, I don't like child molesters. If you want to come at me because I don't like child molesters, please fucking do. Please fucking do. I got kids, I got grandkids now, and you know, I'm a Marine. We believe in protecting Americans and America and everybody in it, right? So if you're a fucking child molester, I hate you. I want you to get hit by a bus or maybe go to prison and have bad things happen to you. I don't want you in my motorcycle club. I don't want you in any motorcycle club. I don't want you in the COC. We would bounce your ass out so fucking fast it would make your actual head spin. I mean, actually spin. That shit that don't fly in the COC. And in most organizations I know of, the shit don't fly. So if you
I would go as far as saying it ain't even got nothing to do with the MC community. It has to do with life in general. I don't know anybody, whether it's in the MC community or in the civilian world, that is like, oh, hell yeah, you're a child molester. Let's go hang out. No, fuck that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason they don't make it out of prison 9 times out of 10.
Facts.
I mean, I've been locked up and you're sitting there laying in your bunk in the middle of the night and there's somebody screaming on the other side of the room because they found out what the fuck they're in there for.
Yeah.
There's no place in this world for them.
Yeah. You know, I'll tell you like this. If you're in so there's a lot of groups out there like what do you call it? BACA is a group. Their actual function, BACA, is Bikers Against Child Abuse. They're an actual club that's put together. Their mission is to protect children and to help children when they got to go to court and face the monster that did bad things to them. They're there going to court with them. They're there, you know, doing cookouts and stuff for them. They're making those kids feel safe so that they can do what they need to do when it's time to go to court. And then after that as well. So bikers believe in the safety of our children. And I think most bikers do. So that's not a club thing. That's a human thing, you know, but on the set, we feel especially strong about that. But if you do as well, you know, then God bless you. If you don't, then fuck you. I mean that in a good way. But yeah, man. So I'll tell you what, if anybody is interested, the information, what's his name? Big Cookie, the former SAA, he'll provide that information to you. Y'all can reach out to us here on the show. and we'll make sure you get his information, or you can get the information. So if you want to review those documents or whatever, just let us know. Also, do us a solid. If you're watching this show, if you haven't done it already, hit the like button, because this is a show that definitely stop what you're doing, hit the like button, and share this show with somebody, because folks need to know that there's still fucking monsters out there. There's still damn pedophiles out there. And unfortunately, as much as we talk about it and we feel very, very removed from it, sometimes that shit will pop up right in your damn face and you won't even know it sometimes. But if you're with me, hit the like button, share this show, let some people know about it. And, you know, and I hope folks are still talking about this tomorrow and the next day and the day after that until this shit gets right, you know, because this shit is not cool. I don't like it. Tate fucking hates it. We all do. So if you're with us, be with us, you know, and y'all can save that bullshit. So anybody who's got a problem with us talking about we don't like pedophiles on the set or anywhere else, then fuck you if you don't, you know, I'm just saying. You know.
Hey, I'll tell you straight up, I'm going to be in Vero next weekend. Next month, I'll be in Lake County. If you want to get at me, that's cool. But you better pack 2 motherfucking lunches, because I'm going to eat mine and yours.
We don't like pedophiles. And apparently there's people that support them. But on that note, I tell you what, I do want to thank y'all for taking time out of your life to check us out here on the Big BoneYard. We'll be coming back at you again. Might be sooner instead of later. Just depends on what crazy ass letters and calls we get next time. And again, wasn't expecting none of this shit, but you know, shit happens. And if there's something going on, we damn sure going to try to let y'all know about it. You know, but other than that, listen, thank you for joining us tonight. And like I said, definitely hit the like button. Do us a solid. Hit the like button. Hit the share button. If you haven't done that, share this show with somebody so that somebody can see this and somebody knows about what's going on. And, you know, it really is. I swear to God, it's about the kids. Kids need protection. And the best way to protect them is to out these motherfuckers. And, you know, anyway, you got to do your thing. Yeah. Anyway. Hey, love and respect to all of y'all, and thank you for rocking with us and riding with us here on the Big BoneYard. Tate, what you got to tell the folks, man?
Share it. If you got something to say, put it in your comments on it, put it in your little description, share it all over Facebook, get everybody out there. The more people to know about this, the more attention that's going to be drawn to it, and then somebody's going to have to fucking do something. Yeah. I'm hoping the dominant finds out. I really am. Because you know as well as I do, that shit ain't gonna fly.
Yeah, I know that was one of the things that apparently they're concerned about. But how about this? How about get rid of the fucking pedophile and then you won't have a problem? You know,
there's that.
Call me crazy.
And just me, because I respect the man. I followed the man for years. I posted on my personal Facebook page, hashtag I stand with Black Dragon. So anybody that wants to show Black Dragon some support, put that hashtag out there. Show him some love, because this man has moved mountains for this club and does not deserve this bullshit.
Yeah, facts. I agree. 100%, man. Anyway, y'all have a fantastic night. And again, thank you so much for rocking with us. And hey, we'll see y'all again in a certain number of days. I'm not sure how many, because I can't do math that damn good. But hey, love and respect, y'all.
5.
I decided to pursue a career in law because it gives me an opportunity to help people. When a client chooses us to represent them, they're entrusting us with a huge responsibility. It's our goal to exceed their expectations with our personalized service and to help them to achieve the best possible recovery to compensate them for their injuries.
That's where we come in. We come in and we solve that problem for them and really set them on the right track in order to try and get back to what their life was like before the accident happened.